The genie from the Aladdin movies is very powerful, but it's easy not to take him seriously. In its defense, it is a comedy movie, so it is not meant to be taken too seriously. The ability to be able to grant any wish seems to be limitless to the genie, though. The only clear, visible limit I can see is that he can't free himself, or he can't just grant wishes on his own or something. Genie actually said he's less powerful after being freed.
How does it feel to be free?
I love it!
Maybe my powers aren't what they used to be. Let's say they're semi-phenomenal, nearly cosmic.
But don't sell me short.
I may be free, but I still have some magic in me.
Although he is weakened, don't sell him short. He's still cosmic, he says. Compared to how powerful he was and the little bit weakened he is, does it really matter him being weakened? He's still basically the same. Genie's implied to have goofy weaknesses like being trapped. Like, bruh, he should be able to work out of this, but yeah, I guess that's like the lamp thing.
Absolutely powerless when confined.
3 separate occasions of this goofy weakness. He seems to be free, so this technically shouldn't be his weakness no more. Or it might be still, who knows. I don't know how this is possible. On top of having the power to turn a being into a powerful sorcerer, he can turn him into a freaking genie too. But even when he isn't necessarily granting wishes, he still does superhuman overpowered stuff. But how strong is he?
Haven't seen you in a few millennia. Genies are eternal.
So yeah, genies are eternal, and he's been around for a few millennia. He's even powerful enough to loan his power to other beings. What can't the genie do?
I can't kill anybody. I can't make anybody fall in love.
Can't bring people back from the dead.
And that's really the only limitation for him when it comes to wish making. But he does seem to have super strength. High dining table, why the heck not? Why not duplicate myself to lift up stuff because he's the genie? And all this cheese, he can just sling, breaking down beams. Let me lift all this up.
500 tons of elastic plexiglass ought to keep you safe.
Literally mountains, little pieces of it on his head. He's good. Missiles are light to his strength. He can lift a whole bunch of elephants up while trolling enormous slabs of ice. He has no problem lifting a slab of ice. Figurehead into orbit. Can push all of this to the ground. When this ballista bolt was in this wall, the strength to get it out, to pull over a coconut tree, pushes a piece of the tower off of a magic carpet, held back a flood. Because why not? He loves throwing stuff into space, even if it's by accident. Did I mention he could make himself giant and just lift up cities if he felt like it? Yeah. And also lift up a frozen waterfall by just getting bigger than it. He could even get so big, he spins the earth on his finger like it's nothing, which means lifting sextillions of tons is pretty much nothing to him because he trolls while doing so. Literally turn into actual stars, actual constellation of stars, turn into the actual sun. He turned into Saturn and turned into the moon itself. Because why the heck not? The genie is strong enough to grow far larger than all the planets if he wanted to. He seems beyond the limits of dimensions. There was a rip in time. He just said, let me just suck it up. I got vast cosmic power. Bro can literally box his own shadow because of why not this type of reality warping. It's like he can't really hurt vast overpowered genie people like him. This feat of him spinning the earth with his finger was actually him when he was free and when he was weakened. One can argue the only being stronger than the genie himself is Genie Jafar because he did wish to actually become an all-powerful genie, possibly. Jafar, when he became a genie, even though one could say he's above him because he wished to be an all-powerful genie, and look how they can just play with planets, even moving entire solar systems. We're talking about a guy that can inflate himself that big. He turned into a 40,000 megaton bomb.
Over to 40,000 megatons of military industrial know-how.
When it comes to causing damage to the genie, you can't really hurt him if he doesn't want to be hurt. Like how he can chop himself in half, like in this little play fight. Probably gag Looney Tunes moments, but you get it. Shapeshifting his hands, shattering large diamonds. He has no problem breaking cliff. He can do that with striking power. Yeah, he can pretty much do every power known to man, doing this to these gears, making his own hammer. Of course, he can cut through trees if he can spin a planet on his fingers. So destroying buildings is easy. Flex out of a block of ice. And yeah, he says nah. But what's his opinion about his own strength?
The strength of 1,000 teamsters in one little finger.
And he said is in his own little finger. So there's nowhere near his limit. An entire palace falls on him from space. And he's okay.
I fear neither bullet, I fear neither bullet, I fear neither bullet, or the likes of you!
Doesn't even fear bullets. And of course, lava isn't a threat to him. Stepping in lava, or just getting hit by lava, he's good. Pretending to be a police officer, he even got turned into ash. Just simply reforms. Even when his head gets vaporized, he can just get a new one. Obviously, breathing underwater is nothing for somebody like him. And of course, even in space. When it comes to fighting speed, guessing it's whatever he wants it to be. Like in this occasion, he dodges lightning. Like, why wouldn't he be able to do stuff like this? He can reflect your magic back at you. Like, yeah, get that out of here. He can create signs on the spot to reflect arrows. Look at his flight speed. That high. Like that. Like that's nothing. Because of speed. Can he make himself as fast as he wants to? Definitely implications of him being able to travel to different places in a very short amount of time. His fighting speed. Like this kind of speed. Because of speed, builds a prison around this being really fast. Faster than I can see speed. Cuts up this lettuce. Like that. Precision. Moving like a blur. Super speed is such a simple power when you're a reality warper. Decent understanding of math.
Either a very long-nosed Arabian sapsucker.
I'm assuming he can give himself intelligence because he's a cosmic type being. He's made impressions of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ed Sullivan, William F. Buckley, Jack Nicholson, Albert Einstein, Humphrey Bogart, Woody Allen, Elvis Presley, Rocky Balboa, Moses and Thor, Terminator, Rambo, RoboCop, Zeus, Tinkerbell, Pinocchio, Indiana Jones. Are you kidding me? Ariel from Mermaid. This is silly. Mary Poppins, the literal wizard Merlin, Bart Simpson. No problem. Turning into vapor. So he can stretch his arm, grow multiple arms, can change his color, can literally turn into a tornado. Literally move the typhoon somewhere else. Yeah, no problem turning into Godzilla. And in this case, you're fighting his evil clone. Into a dragon, a giant eagle, a whale, all kinds of vehicles. I mean, any vehicle. Because he can turn into a wrecking ball using his hand as bud saws, like, so I can turn my hands into saw. Not only can he transmute stuff or objects, he can do it to living beings, and even turn Aladdin, his buddies, into different things. Even turn Jasmine into a multitude of different things, seemingly limitless on what amount of things he can turn you into. He'd even turn your necklace into a snake, can make a multitude of different objects like firearms. Isn't that funny? Hey, he can just make tanks out of thin air. Like, yeah, he can give you strength. He made Aladdin this strong because why not? He can lift up stuff with telekinesis. Of course he can teleport, like when he was in his net, just simply teleports out the net. He can travel through time when he wants to by making his own time portal, or travel in the future, to the future if you want. He can project fire if he wishes. Just a common thing energy projection wise. He creates strong winds when he wants to, because why not? Covering the Sahara in snow. Can heal you by restoring his feathers. But that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen, for today. What do you think the limits of the genies are? I don't really think they have a limit, but we've seen the most to be able to do solar system type stuff. I definitely think they can do more because everything they do is just casual. Other than goofy weaknesses like being entrapped, which doesn't really make sense, and not being able to kill people and stuff like that, it seems like they can do limitless things. But it seems like their limits are even greater when the person actually wishes for something. Like you can even give somebody more power than you have if somebody wishes it so. As much as this doesn't make sense, let me try to help it make some sense. Just naturally, just goofing off, not granting any wishes, he can grow as big as a planet, as big as the sun, destroy the sun if he wanted to, possibly, all that crazy stuff without even nobody asking for a wish. Now, if somebody asks for a wish, it seems that he can even do even greater things because he was able to give a being power of an actual genie, but implied to be even more all powerful than he is, to where even when he tried to attack this genie he just created, he couldn't even harm this genie, and he's the one that created it in the first place because he got wished by him to do this. It seems like his wish granting abilities is even above what he's capable of on his own, which is why he couldn't free himself. He had to wait until the wisher wished for him to be free and things like that. It kind of doesn't make any sense, but I guess that's how they wanted to do it, whatever. But regardless of this, he's definitely one of the most powerful Disney type characters, might be even above Hercules and Disney Zeus, who knows. But what do you guys think? Did you guys know he was this overpowered? You probably did. Everybody respects the genie's power. I mean, he can literally do whatever he wants. But I also want to give a quick shout out to those that took the time to donate to the channel. Helps out a lot, believe it or not.